Alright folks, welcome to this exciting video. You once again join me in the wild landscape of Scotland, and today we've come to the countryside near the House of Dun. I've parked next to this cool little chapel here with the wee bell and the little tower in front of it. And yeah, we're pretty much in the Dun area, but recently I noticed this kind of path. It seems to lead under the bridge and along, and I thought I'll go along there and see if there's any ancient historical wonders worth recording. So yeah, it's a little adventure, somewhere new, a path that I've never been before, and that's what we love on this channel. Always exploring new places and new things. Yeah, see what we see folks, and the landscape is just incredible. This is it then folks, we're on this mission. This is the main road up here, which takes you to the Dun area from the Stracathro area basically. And just check how much work's been done here at one time. Probably in the 1800s or early 1900s. This has all been built up when they've put this bridge in at the bottom of this hill. Again, they've put all this work in when they've built the road, and then stuff's obviously been like modernised over the years. This is crazy folks, because like, where does this path even go? I'm thinking it must end up going the kind of House of Dun direction, but I'm more interested to see if there's any cool old history on the way. Wow, this bridge is so cool. Wow, it's epic the way the light is just like shining down through the trees. All the different colours of the green. And this little stream here is just flowing down through the middle of it all. Let's continue this adventure folks. Oh look, there's like a little seat. They've put in like a little chair under here. Probably if the weather was bad and it was raining you could take shelter. Yeah, it's crazy the way this path goes. It just seems to weave through the countryside here folks, so yeah, what an adventure. It could even be a private path, I'm not even sure. There was no signs at the end saying private, no entry or anything, so yeah, interesting. Quite a cool bridge. It's got reinforcements through it, I can see. Anyway, on with this adventure. Look at this folks, I've come across this marker with a green arrow. It's pointing in this direction here. Who knows, we're at a fork in the path folks. I'm not even sure which way we should go here. Let's see, there's another post here. It's got the green marker going straight ahead. I think I'm just going to follow the little riverside path. Well, it's hardly even a river. The little burn here. Oh, here's a wee wooden bridge folks. I'm looking for some ancient history here. Stuff like this doesn't cut it. It needs to be some cool ancient historical wonders that we find on this adventure. We've come to a gate in the path here folks, and the plants. This looks like, I'm not even sure what this is. We've just entered a garden. Look at these unusual looking shrubs. Wow. Look at this. It's like something from a jungle. We've just entered the jungle biome folks on this adventure, and like, wow. There's so many crazy different types of plants around here. So many different colours with the leaves and the buds. Look at this thing. This is the sort of thing you could use as a brolly, but just check out the spines on the underside of that there. Wow. It's not giant hogweed, but the leaves look similar to a giant hogweed type of plant. And then look at the seed head on it. It's like I've just stepped into like such a crazy jungle environment here. It just blows my mind. I'll have to get a couple of pictures of this plant. It's out of this world. It's like some Star Wars scene or something when you see foliage and stuff that's that big. so I'm no like up on plants and stuff and different plant types, but when I see stuff like this, it's just incredible. It just makes a walk special when you find a crazy feature like that along the way. And every shrub around here looks special. This looks like bamboo and stuff right here. This must be like the garden of the House of Dunn. Or it must be nearby here. Oh, there's a yellow sign here. Look at this, folks. I'm just thinking which way to go. I've been staying to the furthest right hand side so far. Look at these things, folks. Crazy scenes. Look at this, folks. There's a sign. Tree felling in process. The smell of the freshly cut timber is just amazing. Yeah, I think they're actually doing work here right now. So I'll maybe take a different path. Because I'm not even sure where I am, folks, right now. I think we'll go and take that secondary path where the yellow arrow was. Honestly, folks, I feel like I'm in the lost Garden of Eden. The plants and shrubbery growing over the top of my head. And the wildlife and the birds, it's just endless. It's cool. I'm so glad I decided to explore down this path. Look at the bamboo here. Look at this, folks. Next to this wild ass bush here is this stunning little old bridge. It's blocked off now so you can't walk over the top of it. But just check out the stonework on this thing. That's what I love about coming on these adventures. This is like some little fairy tale bridge just hidden here in the forest. Just look at the character of it and the construction. Wow, it looks epic. Oh, I need to not use the word epic in my adventures, folks. It looks incredible. Yeah, it's just amazing the way that river meanders down there and just trickles over the edge of that. It's like a drop off, like a little waterfall at the far side. Yeah, let's keep this adventure moving. It's cool little historical wonders like that that makes these adventures so interesting. Look at this here, folks. This is like a little picnic spot. Wow, look at the size of those bushes down there. Incredible. That little bridge that we saw a minute ago is just up there. When I noticed this railing, I thought I'll come and have a look and see what's over here. Record any incredible but little historical nuggets along the way here. Look, there's an old wall here, and this is this bridge that I could see in the distance. It's got the ivy up the pillars. It doesn't look as old as some of the constructions that we see around here, like that bridge a minute ago, but yeah, look at this. This must be part of the walking circuit here. Look over that jungle canopy right there, folks. Wow. This place is totally blowing my mind. I didn't even know what to expect when I came down the path. Look at this, folks. It's like some palm fronds or whatever you call it. Wow. It's almost like a total coconut tree or something. I'm just following this path along by the wall right now. I don't even know where I am on the map. But I'm now off the right hand path and I'm kind of on a middle path right here. And everything just looks freshly kept around here, but I've still not seen anyone. It's like an apocalyptic scene almost. It's like everyone's just disappeared. And this is some crazy jungle environment. Look at the way the ivy's grown up this tree. Look at this, folks. This tree trunk here is grown over the top of the wall. This wall leads right on down to the river. It's funny because I keep calling it a river and it's just like a little burn. I've gone as far up the path that way and that takes me into the grounds of the House of Dunn. So we'll go and take a look up some of these other paths and see if there's any cool abandoned history to be found. those things are crazy. Some of the different plants, I've like never seen some of these things. I've come back as far as this bridge because I didn't explore along this path. And just check the character of this old abandoned gate right here. It's obviously disused now. Check out with old stone steps leading right up there. Wow, it's always so interesting exploring somewhere you've never been before. And this place, oh, there's a sign here. What's it saying? The Ice House, folks. Oh yes, this is so interesting. We found a historical wonder right here, and it's an ice house. Look at this wee gate and stuff. There's history all around us at a spot like this, but here is a special location for the video. So this unsuspecting mound in the ground here is actually the structure of an old ice house, which would have been used to store the ice all year round for the House of Dun, which is a massive Angus mansion house here. And look at this, we can actually see in it. Wow, that's so interesting. There's like a secondary little window. That would have been to keep the heat of the outside world away from the ice. Wow, the ice was obviously brought here and then stored. In most big houses and mansion houses all around Scotland, this is what they did. So they could have ice. The rich people had ice all year round when the common man didn't have such a kind of luxury in their life. Just check it out, you can see the last remains of where the door hinge and stuff would have been on. And look at the way the stone's cut out here for the shape of the door frame. Yeah, wow. I'm going to read that sign that's in there and I'll get back to you folks. Look at this folks, I've just realised that this little fence section here is just laid in the front. So to the landowner and the ice house owner, I come with the greatest respects here. I'm just recording a bit of history for the world to see. Wow, look at that. There it is folks, the Dun Ice House. Look how deep it is. That gives you an idea of the size. I've seen other ice houses at estates and stuff and they're actually bigger than this. A lot bigger. See this cavity at the top, and that might have been to also get the hot air away. Wow, there's metal brackets sticking out the wall. This is the kind of real history that I love bringing to folk on the videos. Again, some folk aren't able to come and see stuff like this. It's just amazing. Cool bit of history to share, and just imagine the ice in there. Again, the blocks would have been the correct size to obviously fit through this square hole. Yeah, it's been cool to come and see. Look, there's a frame, there's been a door frame or something there as well. And then some sort of little metal latch. Wow, this has been the coolest thing I've seen for ages though folks. There you go folks, one last look inside before I leave this ancient historical wonder in peace. You can see the stone construction on the inside, how small it is. Compare that to what we're about to see on the outside now. Yeah, there we go. It's real history right here on the channel. Wow, what a special thing it's been to see this. It's cool in Scotland how there's just history hidden all over the countryside like this. Sometimes you don't even know things exist and you go out exploring and it's like boom, history just pops out at you. Cool unseen stuff like this. And often a video can be the thing that keeps the history alive. If something like this falls down or a tree lands on it, the video's evidence of how it looked at a certain time. That's such a special thing. And just look at the size of it on the outside here, compared to what we saw inside with the small chamber. And that would have been so that the weather on the outside had no effect. Quite often I've seen these as well in a forest so that the direct sunlight isn't on top of it. Just look at this folks, it's like the secret garden in here. There's like little benches and stuff, but it's like a forgotten land because everything's just covered in moss and ivy. Wow, I'll get a photograph of this place from the outside. So that just goes to show a little pile of ivy in the forest. It could be so much more than just a heap of soil. It's a cool little bit of history related to the House of Dun. And it's been cool to document another amazing bit of history here in Angus. It's like, it's mind blowing. Like every week I used to try and bring like one thing at least a week, brand new to the channel, and now it's like, I've been lucky because it's been most videos, new locations. There's just so many paths around here, folks. It's just mind blowing. That's like a walled garden in there. But I love the way the ivy and stuff just goes over the old stones. That's what gives these locations their character as well. Insane. But yeah, I'm so happy that I found that. It's an ice house, folks. Amazing. I'm actually surprised as well at how small it is inside, considering that, because I've seen other ones that look like that on the outside, and when you see them inside, they're massive and they're round and they go down about the same depth but actually bigger in size. But I suppose it would be probably different architects dealt with ice houses, depending on maybe who was building the big house related to them. So I think one day in the future I'll probably come back to this area and explore a bit more, because I think there's probably more hidden history just in all the wee nooks and crannies. There's still more paths to go and explore as well. Every corner you go around, and again, everywhere you look, there's just little historical nuggets just blended in with nature. The way this area has been landscaped, it's been refreshing to explore here, folks. Yeah, the reason I came out today is just to test drive the Honda, because I did the brake pads on it and then I ended up stopping here, and what an adventure it's been. It just shows you sometimes if you go out and about, again, the world's got so much to offer. Look at this, folks. These are young giant sequoia trees, and you can tell by the spongy bark. We used to call these punching trees when we were young, but once they get bigger, they're even better for like punching. Wow, that's some cool tree though to see. Actually, look, some of the needles on it's actually yellow. I'm not sure if that's meant to be like that or if there's something wrong with it. That's maybe the colour of that tree. So I'm now back as far along as this little bridge, and I'm going to show you the wee waterfall that drops off just over the other side of this ridge. When I say this place is like paradise, folks, what more do you need to see? This is one of the most stunning waterfalls that I've seen in a long time, and look how crystal clear the water is. Wow, that scene there is just special. And then round this side is that incredible massive bridge that I walked over the top of. But yeah, it's definitely worth coming down. When I see a little waterfall like that, it's a special little nugget of Scotland right there. So there you go, folks. I was down here getting some angles of that. It just looks incredible from every angle. It's a little nugget of Scottish beauty hidden here in the wild landscape of Dun in Angus, and it just shows you, if you landscape a piece of the earth, how amazing you can make it look. And today, walking about here, it's been like walking about in the Garden of Eden, with so many little treasures around every corner, historical and natural, because a lot of these plants are just mind-blowing rare plants and shrubs from all over the world. A lot of estates had stuff like that in their gardens. I can hear a buzzard making its call overhead. Yeah, these plants are just, they keep blowing my mind. I keep seeing more and more. It is true that these estates is one of the few places that you see plants and shrubs of this variety, because the people that owned the estates were like importing seeds from all over the world back at that time, to make their garden stand out and be the best garden around. And that's what it was all about. Estates like this would have had 10 or 15 gardeners. And that's one of the reasons that the giant hogweed, it's like a horrible weed that spreads, burns you if you touch it, but it spreads down the banks of rivers and it gets sprayed off every year. But one of the reasons that got brought to this country was similar. It was an estate or whatever that brought the seed over to plant because it looked magnificent and giant. And then years later it's a massive problem kind of all over certain areas of Scotland. Here we are, we've made it back to this original bridge that we started this adventure from. Oi! Crazy acoustics there. Yeah, it looks like it's just a sheer drop because the river's just been wearing away at that over the years. Because it looks freshly eroded around those roots. Wow, folks, that's been a cool little adventure though. We've explored something which is just crazy. I had no idea there was such a wild, magical environment just around the corner on our doorstep here in Angus. Wow, it just shows you if you go exploring a random path, like where it can lead to. It's like ancient history hidden all over, folks. What an adventure it's been. But yeah, now I'm nearly back at the main road. I'll end this one here. It's been fun, it's been a cool video, but we'll see you soon with the next one.